everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another Makers with Heart video hop. This month, the Makers with Heart are featuring mix-ins and how to stretch a paper pack using them. Okay, so the paper pack I'm going to stretch is cozyup, and these are the July-August mix-in papers. And the pictures I'm going to scrapbook are from my trip with my husband and a couple friends to southern Colorado to the Spanish Peaks region. So I'm doing several scrapbook layouts, and so this is the first day of our trip. Some scenery pictures and a picture of a moose that came to visit us. Okay, so I'm going to use shortbread as my base, and I'm going to stencil all over both pieces of shortbread. It's the light side of shortbread, and I'm going to do tone on tone with shortbread ink. And the stencil I'm using is the Sprigs and Leaves Slimline stencil. And I'm just going to go lightly all over. I'm just using the stencil that has the larger openings. I won't be doing any detail blending. I just want a light blend and a subtle look all over this piece of shortbread. So I'm going to do both sides. So we'll do the reveal and then I'll do the rest of the stenciling off camera. And I'm going to kind of place it all over, kind of at different angles so that it's not completely straight lines. And the stencil itself, it has curved branches and sprigs, and so get a nice all over look here. Okay, so now I've mounted both of these pieces of shortbread on the light side of rosemary, and then I'm going to do some more stenciling. This is from Stencil Pack 1, and it has the word explore, and it has 3 layers that you can stencil in different colors. And you'll see that once I get to the 3rd layer, I'm just going to go that far. So I'll go ahead and keep everything in the video. We'll line everything up. So the first word, it's just open letters that says explore. And I'm going to do tone on tone, honey butter on the light side of honey butter. And we'll just go ahead and use a blending brush and get some ink in those openings. And I'm using some masking tape to mask off areas that I don't want to over stencil or over ink on this piece of honey butter. So we have the first layer, and then you shift your stencil up for the next layer. And I've pre-treated my stencils with pixie spray, so they have some tack to them, so they're easier to work with. So once you put them down, they'll stay put. And using the masking tape helps as well. So I thought I was going to use paprika for the next layer, but then I changed my mind, and and then I thought maybe toffee, no. And then I decided on desert rose. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stencil in the next layer. And has some cool rock formations, and it kind of looks like trees or rocks. And it just gives a really cool effect. Okay, then I'll shift it again and move it up for the next layer. And then I'll use paprika. And the 4th layer, it adds like a tree line in between the letters, but I like the separation of the letters, so I'm just going to go with the 3 layers. Thought I was going to use mocha for that next line, but I changed my mind. Okay, so I'm just going to trim all the way around it, and that will be my title. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in this piece of mocha plaid that's from cozyup. And this whole design is 2-page spread is a sneak peek at Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. This is pattern number 12. I've tweaked it just a little bit, but most of the cuts are that same design. Okay, so I've decided to shift my title over to the right page because it'll have more room for that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trim out the next piece. And this is a piece of mix-in. So I want to keep my patterns and colors pretty neutral so that the photos pop. That large scenery picture, the 5x7 that's going to be on the left side, I really want that to pop. So I want all the attention to go to that and my other two pictures. So I'm going to use some pretty neutral basic designs, but I do want designs. So that's great for to use the mix-ins for that. And then I'm going to bring in this piece of cozyup. Now it has words, and they're autumn, fall related words all over. So be mindful of the direction that you're cutting your papers so that you can read your words. So I'll go ahead and trim that down for both sides. And then for my last piece, I'm going to bring in, oh wait, I still need some more of this paprika word paper from cozyup to create my little banner. And then I'll bring in a piece of mix-in. And that'll be the last major piece. So when I was kind of thinking about this layout in my head, I was thinking I was going to use all kinds of leaves, fall colored leaves, all over this layout. But as I started working with it, I decided against the leaves, and I wanted to keep it relatively clean. We got a lot going on with all the different patterns, even though they're neutral. Like I said, I want all the attention to go to the photos. Okay, so right, last piece that I'll bring in is another piece of mix-in, and we'll just add a little pop of sage to kind of pull things together. And it'll work once I get my photos because there's green in the photos. And then I'm going to create a tiny little banner using this zip strip, and it's mocha with the same words that are in that paprika piece. And then my last banner is just going to be some rosemary to tie in that border color. So I'm going to dovetail all of these pieces and just start by cutting vertically in the center and then take each corner to make that snip and take your triangle out, and you have all your little dovetailed pieces. Okay, off camera, I have glued everything down. We'll line up that banner, and I want it to get my photo down first before I set up that banner. So I'm going to mount it on shortbread, and then I'll pop it with some foam tape. And then I wound up matting all of my all three photos using shortbread. So go ahead and keep this in video and just adding some foam tape, and we'll get that photo down, and then we'll set up that banner above it. Such a pretty picture. It's the Spanish Peaks region of southern Colorado, and we were staying in the town of Stonewall. Tiny town. Okay, we'll go ahead and get that banner down, and then in between each of these banner pieces, I'm going to add a dot from the cozyup dots collection. And these are paprika, and they have little sparkles in them. So I'm going to use the largest ones in between these banners, and then off camera I'll add a couple more to the right side of the page. And I have cut this road trip element using Cricut and some paprika and shortbread paper. And I believe it's from the You Are Here collection from Cricut. Okay, so that's my basic design. And like I said, I matted those other two pictures. And I'm also popping them with foam tape. So we'll get those down. When we were driving around to watch the elk, there was a rainbow. It's kind of raining, not really raining, just spritzing just a little bit. So we got a rainbow. And last September we were down there, so the elk were still in rut, and it's just cool to go out there and watch them and listen to the bulls bugle and collect his harem. We were pretty far away, but we just watched them for as late as we could till it was starting to get dark. So we'll set up our title and that road trip element with foam tape. And then off camera, I have done some strip journaling on toffee. So I've got all that lined up. We got down there and got settled into our Airbnb and took a walk. Saw Mr. Moose from far away. Got some pictures, and then we went for a drive and looked for elk. Okay, so stay tuned, and I'll continue with photos from this trip in the next couple weeks. So I will put a link at the end of this video with all of the other Makers with Heart videos, so you can see the ways that they've stretched paper collections using the mixins. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. You'll be able to find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.